record it to this. Okay, got it. Okay, so here's the juicy ones that you guys wanted me to get to. But we have to kind of go over that other stuff first in order to understand this. So let me move my stuff again here. Okay, so the right side, he talks about the right side being, the right side is our male side and the left side is our female side. Don't get too hung up on it, right? For some of us, it really hits home. And for others, it's like, you know, I'm not feeling into it. So just wait and see what resonates with you, right? And some of you might be able to look at this a little bit differently, but so it's the right side of the body. Ask if it's your left brain. Did you have trauma on your left side, right? Is it about giving? Do you give with ease? Do you give too much? Right? Or do you give with expectation of they now owe you? Right? There could be some of that. I know some adults in my life are like that. Does it have to do with a male? It could be a male at work. It could be your husband. It could be a neighbor that said something to you just out of the blue. Or is it a female that has a lot of masculine energy? That one finally, Cynthia helped me see that one time. Is it that things have been mundane for you? Is it rational? You know, this is where I kind of get lost in it. Rational, linear. Is it all about the actively doing? Are you not outgoing enough whenever your heart desires that? Or are you a little too outgoing and you don't take time to just stay in yourself and feel and touch? All those things that we talked about earlier. Are you feeding others to the point where you're not feeding yourself? Are you somebody, we have somebody that's been talking to us and helping somebody with Parkinson's, with the label of Parkinson's, and he has spent, or no, this is the guy with ALS that Leah is seeing. He has spent his whole life doing for others, helping others, that he is learning how to be in a receiving mode for himself. And he's had a lot of emotional cleansing moments with that realization. And I'll let you read the rest. Let's look over to the other side where it says, let's look at right shoulder. You know, there's the burdens about doing and giving, where the left shoulder is the burdens about receiving. Okay. The right temple, the right choice about doing and giving, where the left temple is going to be about the receiving side of things. Handling the hands. The joints are usually flexibility. So look at the right wrist and look at the right ankle. Those are about flexibility in handling, because we handle things, or flexibility in moving forward, because our ankle helps us to move forward. Again, the right hand is about handling what is being done or given to you. Or are you struggling with what you are needing to give to others, handle and give to others? Anything from the hips down is going to be about moving forward. And again, you guys can, I'm going to give you this whole slideshow. So you can just take screenshots later. Right? You know, or grab your phone and just take a picture of it. Don't feel like you got to write all this down. I'm not selling it, so I'm sharing it. If anything, I'm promoting the book for them, right? So I'm not worried about it. The right foot, understanding and moving forward. So decrees that you could say, I give with ease, because it's about giving. I know what I am to do, and my body already knows. I like this one because we're so busy about thinking about what we're supposed to do, we forget that our body already knows it. This has been a big one for me. And doing is about, you know, the action. I know and feel my protective boundaries. Why did I do that one? I think inside the box, doing. Closed. I can't remember why I said that one. I can't see my notes in a screen share. I am my father. Ooh, this one was be mine. I am my father, giving with ease. Even though I'm saying, I'm not talking to my dad, I'm not telling them that I'm doing anything, right? But I can say, I am my father, giving with ease. And I did this for my mom and dad for a while. About a year ago, I would say for about a month and a half, 2 months, I was working with Andrea, and I would say, I am my mother, remembering my joy. I am my father, remembering my joy. And by golly, they sent me their first selfie at a Beach Boys concert. Right. And then there was like 2 more times after that. Whoo, I'm getting goosebumps telling you guys about it. There was 2 more times after that mom sent me another text that they were on their way to go do something fun. And then thanks, Jody. And then I think on the phone, she told me about another instance. But the Beach Boys concert one, I'm just like, I sent that energy to them and they received it. Right. Okay, let's look at the next side. So the left side. Now I got to move all my stuff again. The left side is about asking, is it all over here on the right side of the brain? Is it about how I receive? Is it a female or is it a male with female energy that is not willingly receiving what I'm giving them? Or am I not willingly receiving from this female energy? Did I have trouble receiving from my mom as a child? Is it about my intuition and my ability to connect and listen to my intuition? Am I receiving my intuitive knowledge? That's the receptiveness, right? Imaginative. I lost my imagination. I, worked with kids, for crying out loud, but I wanted that curriculum to tell me what to teach. I was so exhausted. I didn't have an imaginative piece to me anymore, I felt like. And I've brought back that creativity in myself. And just to give you a little heads up on what I've been focusing on, I'm getting down to the very last root thing of what I experience as chronic pain. Okay. It's not mine anymore. I'm just still experiencing it. And I can remember that the headache communication, the pain communication in my head started whenever I was 15. And now I'm getting down with the belly button torque, you guys. And I'm remembering that first ovarian cyst I had was down there, right? And it was right before the experience of the pain in the head started. And ovaries have to do with our creativity, our creation, receiving our creation, right? Being able to create. And with Human Garage and joining this group and creating a program for Lori with her balancing issues, and creating a program for Mark with his tremor symptoms, and then being able to create this slideshow in just, the drop of a hat, and working with Jenna and Lauren on the kids program, and now creating my own neurological program to help people. It's a whole new creation for me that I love. And so then I'm going back to that original, did I lose my creation with that first ovarian cyst? And then my body held on to it from there. Okay, moving on. Sorry, talking now too much. Incoming, being fed, receiving with ease. Is it about thinking outside the box, or are you a black and white kind of person? Is it about your resting and your nurturing and being open to receive your rest? All right, so then we go to the left temple, the right choice about receiving. Left ear, shoulder, burdens about receiving. Forearm, receiving and doing. Left wrist, that flexibility and receiving. So the right wrist was flexibility and doing. The left wrist is going to be your flexibility and receiving. Your right wrist is going to be, am I not doing something that some male energy wants me to do? Or is some male energy not doing what I think he should be doing, like washing the dishes at night? Well, he prefers to do them in the morning. It's okay, right? Find a balance. And then, am I making sense of how to utilize these and kind of ask questions around them? And that good old receiving and moving forward. So the right ankle would be doing, what you're doing and moving forward. But yeah, are you receiving? Okay. Let me move. I have no idea if the recording is doing all of my moving of the chats. Let's look at the decrees. I openly receive what nourishes me. I feel, and just kind of feel into your body as I say them. I'll say them slow and then you repeat them and see if you feel them anywhere in your body, and kind of open up your body. Like I was sitting on my leg and I have both feet on the ground now. Breathe in, breathe out. I openly receive what nourishes me.
I openly receive what nourishes me.
I feel joy in my creativity.
I feel joy in my creativity.
My creativity comes with ease.
My creativity comes with ease.
I think I wrote these for myself last night, to be honest with you girls. I am my mother. I willingly receive.
I willingly receive.
I am my mother nurturing myself.
I am my mother nurturing myself.
My nurturing feeds my soul.
My nurturing feeds my soul.
And I feel joy in my imagination. I'm going to go back to some of those comments in a little bit, I think. Let's keep going in case people have to get off here in a little bit. Okay, a simple check-in. So this is the other part. If you start with just the last two slides, the right and the left, and this slide, then you don't really have to know all the intricate details like Gary does, right? So don't look at all the words on the right side yet. Just look at the image. If it's in the front of us, it has to do with ourself. Okay. If it's behind us on our back, it probably has to do with others. Now I want you to think about the arms and the legs. Look at the legs, how the self switched over to the leg, to the back. The reason why is because when we close our leg and hinge it at the knee, where the body touch has to do with ourself. So now do the same with your arm. Close that elbow, and anything inside that touches you, that's yourself. And anything on the back side is going to be others. Okay. The top of the foot is others, while the bottom of the foot is self. So that's just another little piece that you could add into the questioning. And then some things that have helped me stay, like, just keep the basics. I don't need to go micro. I'm just going to look at the macro of things, right? So the head is about our knowing and thinking. And that includes the jaw. The jaw is the connection between what we feel and what we think. And my experience has been a very tight, tense right jaw my whole life, 30 years worth, right? And it usually has to do with a conflict between mom and dad. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. Maybe they have a great relationship, but there was that one time that your inner child self still remembers the feeling of them having that conflict at some point. So if our torso, I'm going to skip the neck, okay? Go to torso. If our torso down, hips, waist, legs is all about action and doing and moving forward, what does our neck represent? Well, our neck is what connects our knowing and thinking with our doing. So is it that I don't know what I'm doing? Is it that I don't want to know what I'm doing is wrong? Or is it that I don't want to do what I know I should be doing? So usually those neck issues will start to create more ease and space if we can identify that part. And down at the bottom, oops, sorry, my fingers slid. Down at the bottom, I like this. When we ask what is going on for a person, 99% of the time, we all want to say it's others, right? But do you agree that that is a correct percentage of what is true?
No.
Or are we just not willing to see it within ourselves?
Yeah.
So that one hit home whenever I kind of read that. Yeah, joy in our imagination. Yeah, we want our imagination to be fun, right? Unlike my son who loves the scary video games and the scary movies. I won't watch them with him. He has to find friends to go do it. He's 19 now. He can make his own choices. All right. I did go ahead and put this one in here because I knew you guys would like this, but don't get too hung up on it yet. SBLT stands for Sacred Body Language Translation. How are we doing on time? So again, our head is our thinking, our remembering, our conceiving. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to let you guys have it. Like I said, I'm going to put this slideshow linked in the events comment section of the event so you guys can grab it. Hopefully I won't have to give you access to it, but if so, it'll send me an email and I will. But I do like that it kind of talks about the spleen. You know, the spleen, he says, is about worry. Well, what words do we realize we're worrying a lot? Or can we really hone in and notice that we're saying, well, it's hard to always get everything done. It's hard to get the dishes done. It's hard to get the food on the table. Or I can't even right now. I can't deal with that right now. Well, you're talking to your spleen. You're talking to your worry, right? I don't know if any of these resonate with you. I'm just going to move on. We can come back to this.
Ever it is also anger, huh?
If we want to.
Quick question. Let's say, for example, you just said you were talking to your spleen. Can it also be the other way around? Like if you have a spleen issue, for example, it's coming out as I can't, but it's coming from this pain in the spleen, let's say.
Yeah. And so that's perfect. Maybe that was the perfect segue that I needed for you guys. That is what this body language is trying to do. The pain that I have felt all this time, I think, has been that I lost my creativity. I lost my imagination. I lost my intuition. I cut it off, right? And so the pain has been yelling at me to find it again. And through all of this body language translation, I'm coming back down, you know, I'm kind of taking off the layers, right? Like Shrek. Just have to peel away at the layers until you finally hear what your body is trying to communicate with you. So for me, my gallbladder, you guys, I had a situation where I thought I was going to lose my 14-year-old boy. And I tell you what, my gallbladder hurt for 3 days. I finally had to call Andrea and we had to process through it. And that's whenever I realized my fear I feel in my gallbladder. And a lot of it was the resentment that I allowed my son in that situation, my guilt, my resentment towards myself. I was judging myself for my motherly choices, right? So I now speak to that, you know, oh, gallbladder, what you doing? I feel you. What subconscious thoughts are going through my mind that I'm not fully aware of, that I require taking time, touching them, listening to them. What belief system is kind of running back there that I'm not aware of up here, but it's kind of hanging out back here, right? So just asking that body part that comes up through that. Pain is our body's way of communicating, hey, listen to me. And we've got to slow down enough to listen. Now we have the tools to be like, oh, okay. I feel a little angry as I'm tuning in right now. What am I angry at? You know, is it, you know, where's that anger coming from? Can I just open it up and let it out with a fascial maneuver? And it no longer served me. So I gave it away with with fascial release. I gave it away to just leave, and I don't need to attend to it. It's gone now. I'm gonna, let me say some decrees for love. I receive my love. I got rid of anger. Now I receive my love, right? Does that answer that?
Yes.
I have a
yes.
question.
Okay.
I have a bit of a question. I have a person that actually doesn't have their spleen anymore.
So the energy
So
of it
what do
is
we
still
do?
there, right? The
Okay.
energy of it is still there. That's what Gary would say. We have women without uterus and ovaries, right? But that energy is still there. That the energetic belief system, right? That is hanging out in there is still there. And so that's what you're still attending to. Okay. A lot of people don't have their gallbladder either, but they still have a lot of resentment.
What about your central nervous system or your autoimmune system? Is there a separate page for that, or emotions that you would mention about that?
I'll look it up. Central nervous or autoimmune. Yeah, let me look it up, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sending you a couple pages of pictures with it. But let me go to the next slide while I look it up.
Sure, no problem.
This one we can come back to. You can just come back to it. I did an Instagram live on shoulders. So it's pretty much what we've already done. Like the right shoulder is going to be what? The left shoulder is going to be what? So it's I got to move my picture of you guys, but you can kind of see some people, if you look at their before pictures, they're higher on one side than the other. So I just thought this was a good one to follow through on that Instagram live I did. But this is the one we want to end on. So I focused a lot here with my pain. It hurts. I'm physically and emotionally in pain, right? So what is the upgrade to that? Well, my upgrade is my pleasure, my bliss, my contentment. So when you're doing fascial maneuvers and you have energy rise up in your body and you feel like, I had somebody in class said, what does it mean whenever I was like, had done the 7-day reset, and she's like, I felt rage. Like it wasn't anger, like it was all out rage. And I said, well, what is an upgraded feeling of rage? What is the upgrade of rage? I would say peace, right? Your soul is in complete peace. So you do the fascia maneuver. You talk to the rage. You say, thank you for leaving. You no longer have a place here because my heart protects myself. The rage no longer needs to be here to protect me, right? You talk to it. I receive and replace that rage. I replace that void that the rage just left. That void is replaced with peace, forgiveness, loving action. I author my own love within me, right? So rage isn't on here. You can Google search emotion charts, upgraded emotion charts. This is one that the girls that facilitated me used. And I like it because it's just basic, right? But I'll come down here. Let me tell you my big one. My big one was fear to faith. So I spoke into my faith a lot. What was the other one I was going to say to you? So I pretty much just said what I wrote. Thank you for protecting me, and I replace it. I had an example that I was going to say, but it'll come back to me. So autoimmune is going to be with the adrenals, right? So in this book, all right, the endocrine system, right? Autoimmune is going to be endocrine system. Yes, because it goes pituitary gland, hypothalamus, thyroid gland, parathyroid, thymus, adrenals, pancreas. And so what this one says for that, it's challenges and belief in your own genius. Am I smart enough? Oh, I know what I was going to say. Anxiety, is it on here? Anxiety is usually under, anxiety is not on here, but we all know the feeling of anxiety, right? It took about 3 months of my facilitator texting me back and saying, I'd be driving to work and I'd be like, I feel great, but I have this anxious feeling. And she goes, is it really anxiety? Or, Deidre, is it your enthusiasm returning? And I was like, I don't get that. Like it took me a long time to understand it. And finally I was like, I'm happy to go to work. I was like, I have a new position with pre-K kids. We have a big black girl for a 3-year-old and a teeny tiny white boy for, a 4-year-old, holding hands, walking to class together. They've never met each other and they don't even know each other. But that innocent love of they felt secure holding hands. That's what I love to witness at my school building now, instead of those mean 3rd graders that are filled with so much anger. And I served my purpose there for the time being. And I feel guilty for leaving the 3rd grade, but at the same time, I had to do it for my own health. But seeing that innocent love in pre-K brings so much more joy to my heart, right? And so that's the enthusiasm that I was feeling going to work. But that anxiety and that your enthusiasm returning, it's the same level of energy. It's almost like the same chemicals flowing through your body. It's what Gary says. It's your perception of it. So I can either perceive that emotional energy as anxiety, or I can perceive that emotional energy that I was feeling here driving to work as my enthusiasm returning. Now, as I'm walking into work, I'm on a totally different level than what I used to be. And that's how I used this kind of chart. Back to the thyroid stuff. Issues of activating enthusiasm and intuition. Challenges feeling pain and enthusiasm. Challenges with giving up your will and authority and authorship. So it's kind of like we've lost ourselves. Thyroids, I need to let you guys go here, but your thyroid has to do with, your thyroid can be activated by vibration, right? Our vagus nerve is right there connected, right intertwined with the thyroid. So I was a cheerleader, right? I was also a dancer and a mover. I spoke with inflection a lot. I still do. My husband's like, I'm right here. I've got that teacher voice. But whenever I stopped cheering, and so many of us stopped cheering after high school or college, or we're in the choral groups and we're singing and we have that vibration, and then we do a couple plays and dramas, in high school and college, and then we go out in the real world and we lose ourselves. We've lost that will within us. So not only have we lost the vibration activation that we've had, we stopped that. So now the thyroid is not being activated by that, but now we are not authoring our own lives with what brings us joy. I loved cheering. I could have cared less about the game. I just loved performing and cheering. So decrees like, I author my own will. You're in authorship of your own will. Okay, now what does that mean to you? What are you going to bring back to you? What are you going to touch that you haven't touched in a long time? Am I going to make up little cheers for my students to say in the classroom so that I can feel like a cheerleader again? Or am I going to belt that song out that I loved in high school in the car and not care what people think that look past me? Fear and doubt is also the endocrine system. Challenges with sadness. So there's quite a bit wrapped up into the whole endocrine system, which will be the autoimmune. Let me just see if autoimmune is in here, but I don't think it is. No, they've broken it down because autoimmune is just a label, right? So, okay, ladies, I went over time. More fun language, intimacy. Into me, I see. It does not have to mean sexual. It just means that was another thing. I had to become intimate with myself. That goes back to the I touch my feelings. I send love to myself. I breathe, breathing in, receiving, breathing out, letting go. I feel myself. Doesn't mean it doesn't mean it has to be sexual, right? It just, you're feeling yourself. And you know what? What do we do when we're getting ready to do organ reset and we activate our hands? Have you ever just laid them on your head first? Right? Feel into your body that way. That's the intimacy that we're talking about. When you catch yourself in your old patterns, all you have to do is say, oops, I did that. I talked to you, fear, again. Fear, I let you in again. I recommit to my commitments. Well, what are your commitments? Your commitments are your own decrees that you've made. When asked how you feel, saying good or bad, it is still a judgment. Like Gary would say, how does that feel after you do that? Oh, it feels real good. Well, good is just a judgment that you're placing on your body. Does it feel more open? Does it feel lighter? Okay. I know you guys might have to go. I'll talk about serious joy real quick for those that are not in it yet. And then when asked, can you speak into an emotion and talk to it like a friend? Those are going to be my takeaway points. Okay, so I'm going to unstop share so I can see everybody because I feel like I've been talking to myself. Hi. And pull up the chat real quick. Does anybody want to unmute? I'm done talking. Mary.
Thank you so much for giving us your time and presenting all this amazing information to us and putting in so much effort and love into this. We really, really appreciate it. And it's been fantastic. Learned so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Those
I've
are
been
exactly going to
scared.
be my words. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've been
Thank you.
scared to share this, like I wouldn't be able to answer questions and stuff. Just learned it for myself. So having that feedback is helping me. Is this something that you guys would like me to do on a once a month basis or something? I probably can't do weekly.
Yes,
I would
please.
love to do this.
Yes, please.
Because then as you guys get into it a little bit more, then you can bring the thyroid, the autoimmune issues, and we can just let it be an open forum, kind of, let's figure this out together. You guys can pick and choose what books you want to use. Maybe you want to use the books you already have, use your resources. Because this one, you guys, I bought it for $80. I think it's finally down to $65. Again, I'll put the links in. And I think that just this, if we could have this in the classroom, and if we could get the parents to see this, our school system could change.
Yes.
They would utilize this in nursing homes and hospitals but Serious Joy app. Who asked that one?
How do you spell that?
Okay, let me type it in the thing. It's like if you're a Harry Potter fan, Serious Joy. So my husband labels, we put our Irish sea moss into glass jars. It's called gillyweed on the top of that. He calls it weed if you're a Harry Potter fan. So
Cute.
Serious Joy is an app. You can get it for $3.99 the first month. I highly encourage it.
I don't think I can download it I think I'm in a different region being in Australia, and I don't think I can't find it on the App Store.
See if AstroLink works for you. AstroLink is actually, they have a complementive one that I've been using for, I don't know, maybe 2 years now. And it's very detailed and you can run your own charts and other people's charts and everything. And it guides you just the same. Oh,
yeah. It may be because I'm in a different country, that I'm in a different region, and I'm not able to download that in this region.
So then
It's
go
not an
on
app,
to
it's
the
actually just a
internet.
website.
Yeah, go
That's the
on to the
website.
internet and look for any form of astrology that would be able to guide you that way. Like Google it like as if it was whatever wording that would best fit for your district there or country.
Jody,
Joy.com.
It's not an app. It's
Jody,
a
I
site.
found it.
Yeah,
It's not an app, okay.
yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
Australia, Jody.
It
and
is a
I found
website.
it. I haven't.
Who's
Yeah.
talking? Celia? Yeah.
Yeah, I found it through YouTube.
Oh.
In YouTube, but I haven't downloaded it. So I haven't tried. And it looks like $3.95 for the first month, and then $30 a month after that, I think is what I
What's
saw.
that
But
one?
I don't. The Serious Joy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Once if you're on the lifestyle artist, well, I think even in the 28-day reset, Gary puts maybe it's lifestyle artist, I don't remember. Gary gives a link, and you can get the website, and then you write them an email. You tell them you're a lifestyle artist, and it will cost you less. So it starts
Right.
$3.99 the first month, and then I don't remember. It's what, 6 or 7?
It's $20.
other
Thank
months?
you, Brenda, because I was
Yeah, I don't
on my way
remember.
to say this and I got distracted, but it's $20 a month subscription. But
Mhm.
when you in the lifestyle artist group, one of the very first things you do in the lifestyle artist group. So when you leave 28, so I did the $3.99 while I started the 28-day. Then Jason has directions for you to email somebody at Serious Joy, gives you exactly what to do and say, and then when they pull your next subscription out, it comes out at half off at $10 a month.
I think
It
I
is
have seen that
so
actually.
worth
In the
the
last
$10. I almost feel like I can use Serious Joy now instead of texting my ladies who I did all of this through. So we could almost, do it
But
ourselves.
that's just you're becoming so organic with your own energies, right? Like we're just
Yeah.
really being reintroduced to who we were, how we were born.
Yes.
Absolutely. I started Sirius app, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I don't know why I didn't, but everything happens for a reason. It's all written. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it.
Yes.
And it literally changed my life upside down. I mean, I discovered my heart. I'm opening my heart. I feel like I'm a completely different person. I still do, I do my facial maneuvers every day, which makes it even better. But I highly suggest everybody try it. It really, really changes the script, let's say.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much. I have Lori coming over for her session. Man, if you guys have any suggestion for her low iron has affected her since her hip replacement. So Lori is who I've worked with for 6 months with the Parkinson's label. And she's just gained so much. And then she fell and broke her hip from a dizzy spell, which Gary was like, yes, she won't be held back with moving forward anymore. But her low iron is just, so we're going to try and get her on some other supplements.
You can ask her body what's the best contribution for today's appointment with her. I mean, ask her body, because the body knows,
The
as
body
you
knows. Mhm.
as you showed us today. So it's the same.
Same concept, right? What is her body desiring? What would low iron mean? She lost a lot of blood through the surgery, so it's just building that iron back up. So iron gives us strength, right? Fortification. So
Yeah,
Even
but it's also a conclusion. If you say iron is, when I'm thinking about iron, I still have Popeye in my mind.
Spinach.
But
yeah, anything green, like if you had a green powder that contained alfalfa, barley, or wheatgrass, alfalfa, barley grass, that kind of thing. Even eating things like dates or molasses, they contain loads of iron as well.
oh, I have tons of dates. I can give her some dates.
Yeah, and drinking
Lentils.
water, good
And also
quality
ask
water.
what is right about having a lower iron scale, because maybe sometimes you know it maybe from your work, the kids have a development, and then maybe they are speaking very early, and then they stop speaking. And because something behind it, it's developing. And then they're speaking, they're crying, they do more things. And have this maybe also in mind, that it's okay.
Where she's at.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Maybe-
definitely
maybe
keeping us
ha-
from doing too much. So maybe it's helping me not push her to keep moving forward too soon. Maybe it's her body's way of creating caution so that we continue to go slow for her.
Is she taking
Maybe-
diatomaceous earth?
She did finally get back on the Human Garage supplements. I was like, really?
Because diatomaceous earth is a really
And to
good
speak
dewormer.
to that,
Like helps
maybe
with parasites,
more
and parasitic
diatomaceous
infection
earth so
can
she
be like
absorb more. Sorry.
a symptom can be like iron.
Okay. And then my acupuncturist yesterday suggested beef liver capsules instead of just iron supplement. So
Yeah. And make
How
sure
much
I
you
did
would
you try?
actually,
do
I
us
would actually
with
prime
a
the
vitamin C supplement, because vitamin C will uptake the absorption of iron real quick.
okay. Very good.
Did she
All
try
right.
acupuncture?
I offered my appointment to her 2 times now, and she just
You know, when I was pregnant, my first pregnancy, I went so low on iron that they didn't know how I was walking. They didn't understand how I got out of bed. And so I did acupuncture. I was studying Chinese traditional medicine at the time. And they did acupuncture on me, and my level went so high that they said, don't take anything with iron for a while.
wow.
And it lasted through all 9 months.
Really?
Yeah. So if
Wow.
you could talk to your acupuncture about it, maybe.
Maybe I could at least figure out what pressure points it would be. I could text her.
Mm.
Nothing better than becoming a friend with your acupuncturist so that you can just like, I'm having hot flashes. Which herbs do I go get out of my cabinet?
Let me pinch you to reality.
Although, you guys, I have not needed any Chinese herbs since I started fascial maneuvers.
agreed.
And my acupuncture treatments are way more effective. And she notices it too. I had her do the belly button torque on me 2 sessions ago, and she was like, that was cool. So, all right, ladies, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I will keep going
Thank
if
you.
you keep desiring it. So we'll stay in touch through the app. And now I have a few familiar faces with you guys. So thank you again.
Awesome. Have a great day,
Thank
guys.
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.